Hello, good people. I am Dr. Debb, and this is Reveal and Heal Radio. I have the pleasure this morning of having Monica Ward Goldberg. She is family to Reveal and Heal Radio, and it's been a while since we actually talked, but she was one of the guests on Reveal and Heal podcast. Y'all need to go to the YouTube page, and you need to listen to this great woman, because God has always been using her. And we're here today because of the celebration, and congratulations is in order because she has leveled up again. And you know what's so great about Monica is that her family, they have always been people that have, worked in the community. They are known, just like the Cosby Show become a name that everybody recognize. I can promise you in Bartow County, Monica Ward Goldberg's family, the Ward family, they're the Cosbys in Bartow County. Everybody know them as being a family that's always about community. And I just could not help myself. I had to bring her back sooner rather than later to talk about this promotion that I must give God the glory for, Monica, because you wear many hats. And this is not something you were seeking, because you've always been a humble person and you really like to hide when it comes to your service. You just like to do the work. You're not looking for recognition or any of those things. And I've just, told the people a little bit about you. And I just want you to take the liberty and do so for about 2 minutes. Just let them know who you are and how this position that we're going to talk about is something that you're looking forward to doing. Ladies and gentlemen, the chairman of the NAACP Bartow Charter. Is that correct, Monica?
The Cartersville Bartow County MLK Celebration Committee.
Okay. So
yes,
that is, of course, the Martin Luther King festivities and all the inclusiveness.
Yes,
is that correct? Okay. So share with the
ma'am.
people just a little bit about who you are and how you actually became a part of this community.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Monica Ward Goldberg, and I am the newly elected Cartersville Bartow County MLK Chairperson. And it is such an honor to be in this seat. As Ms. Debb said, I have been a part of the community doing things, I'm going to say, all my life. I had to be doing it in my mama's womb, because I don't know anything but to serve. From, being with my grandmother, my mom, we were always doing something to serve people, help people, and just build our community. And how I became part of the MLK committee is my mama. Mama, before I was on the committee, my mama had us helping her. Her projects became our projects, and it's always been natural. It hasn't been something that was forced. It was just, I'm going to do this, and we were like we were her little ducks, walking right in behind her. And along came, I started creating the programs and the event flyers for 2014, and that's when I joined the committee. So 2 years ago, Miss Linda, she came to me and she said, I'm thinking about resigning as chairperson, but staying on the committee. She's worn a lot of hats. Mm-hmm. Miss Linda Kellogg, those are some big shoes to fill. And she said, I've been praying about this. And she asked me if I would. And then I told her, I spoke with my family, and they said, it's time for you to step out of the shadows. It's time to step up and show people who you are. People know, but they really need to know who you are for real, as the young buck would say. And so whenever in the committee, they voted me in, and it is a pleasure, and I'm humbled to serve as the committee chair. The board is very gracious. They work as a team, and the foundation is solid.
Well, as a native of Bartow County, I'm proud of you, because I've watched you grow, and you're right. You are right. Your family, extended family, not just your mom, but it's like your extended family. Y'all just have that about you when it comes to serving within the community. So you are deserving, and I say that humbly. You know what I mean? You are deserving because you didn't ask for it, but God did prepare you. And I know your mom is she is just tickled that,
she's beaming.
is that right?
Yes, ma'am. She's beaming. She's just so got her chest out, and she's really proud. My mom is really proud of all of us.
Before I get to the questions, I do want to know what the family thinks, because that is just remarkable that you were selfless to communicate with your family about embarking upon this journey, which y'all have your children, your husband, all y'all collectively have always served, but you talk to everybody. That is so cool.
I did. I felt like anybody that know my children, they are very important to me, and what they think means a lot. And my husband, of course, and he's going to back me up unless it's just something that just sounds completely crazy. And this didn't. He was definitely going to back me up. But my kids, I wanted to make sure that they were okay because of the role that I was taking on. And everybody don't understand Dr. Martin Luther King's journey and what it was about, and that it was not about separating people. It was about peace. It was about bringing people together in a peaceful way, unifying people. And some people don't like that, and and I wanted to make sure they were okay with the step. I wasn't going into the battle like Dr. King was, but I will represent that. So I want to make sure they feel good secure about where this is going.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe that's a lesson for everyone that's an activist or doing the work of community, where it could be a divide, and if you have family, how you move, they move. You can't separate the two. And that's remarkable that you had them in mind. And that's because you're such an amazing person. I really believe, I never met Martin Luther King, but through the representatives that have embarked upon the journey of serving in a greater way, I believe that he too consulted with his family.
Yes.
You don't just take on the world and take on change to that capacity without talking with the people that are closest to you, because they're going to be affected.
Yes, ma'am. And they were. And so, fortunately, I don't have to worry about someone, I pray I don't, bombing my home or having water hoses pointed at me, dogs being put out. The work that he did, we don't have so many of those challenges. Now, there are challenges. He paved the way to help us eliminate a lot of that, and so that we were better protected. So I can only imagine how his wife, Coretta King, felt, and his children, when he was out doing the work and trying to unify people peacefully.
Well, I'm grateful that you understand the assignment, because, being on the board, that's elite. And you have to walk in a certain way,
yes, ma'am,
moving forward. You know what I mean? Because
yes, ma'am,
we live in different times now.
Yes.
So I appreciate the fact that you understand the assignment. I know that you didn't just go to your family. You consulted with God. You went in prayer.
Amen.
Because this is an assignment.
Yes, ma'am.
And sometimes when a person or people want us to do things, we can feel the pressure. And even though people want us to do certain things because they see the potential in us and they just feel that we're the right one for the job, baby, it doesn't always mean a yes with God.
Amen. One of the things I've learned to do, because there have been times because something sounded good, I wanted to help this person, help that person. I learned really quickly, that's not my assignment. And so you have to seek God to make sure. It naturally felt like, okay, yes, this is great. I've been on this committee this long, and Miss Kellogg has been, teaching me different things and training me. But is this what God has for me? Is this the path that He wants me on? And so I was prepared to say no if He said no, because let me tell you something, those behind whippings from God, you don't want a piece of those. And then I need to make sure that I wasn't blocking the person that was assignments for. Because whenever it's not your assignment, you're blocking blessings. Dr. King's legacy is too meaningful, and it affects so many people. I couldn't be a part of blocking somebody else's, blocking all of the, I won't say the world's blessings from being selfish, taking on something that was not my assignment. And whenever I went to him and he said, yeah, this is your assignment, I was like, yeah, I got this.
You equipped for you to know that the Lord called you to it, because this is a different fight. And when we take on these great assignments, we are equipped. That's why everybody can't just say yes to everything. We're talking about a whole fight. We're talking about a different armor that God has already put on you.
Yes, ma'am. So
when you do something out of disobedience or pride, you in for a treat that you ain't gonna be able to chew on.
Yes, ma'am. You're absolutely right. I was on another board, and I know that was where I was supposed to be, but my assignment ended.
You have to know when that's up. Pride has to be out of the way. Pride can't have a role in you serving on the assignments representing God, because you will prevent promotion. You will prevent other people from being promoted, because once you level up, that open space for someone else, because it's like a domino effect, right?
It is. And I needed to open up so that I could fully focus on this project where he wants me to be right here today. I still support those efforts of them, but being on that board, I stepped away because God said, I want you right here. I want you to really hone in and do what I'm putting in you to do. So that, I'm not someone that has to have my name plastered all over the place. I work where he tells me to work, and I'm going to come in quietly. You won't even know I've been there. You know that saying, if a tree falls and no one hears it, did it still fall? That's me.
That's a Selah moment. That's a Selah moment, honey. Oh, boy, that's a moment. That's a real moment. Oh, boy. We definitely going to have to put that quote.
That's how I like to describe myself.
Girl, you a silent storm. Let's move on. Glory to God. Oh, my God. Okay, so we have set the groundwork. So how are you feeling right now about stepping into the role of the chairperson?
I feel grateful. I feel humbled. I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be right now.
Yeah, that's good. What does this appointment mean to you personally and to your family?
It means that the work that I've been doing all my life, and you spoke on it earlier, where God has equipped me to do this, I feel like I'm prepared, I'm ready, and it's time. And that's how they feel like it's time. When I talk about my family, I'm talking about my family that's right here, that, my immediate family. But then there are young people in the community. I had a young lady, I was in Walmart. She walked up to me and she said, "Hey there, I'm proud of you." She said, "Now I know you're a fully grown woman, that you've accomplished a lot of things. But I'm telling you, I am so proud of you." Man, and I'm not one that tear up quick, but man, I wanted to start crying in Walmart. So my immediate family being proud and honored, but then those extensions, that village that surround me, and ones that they're loving on me, it's time for you to step in.
I'm loving that you're getting your flowers,
Yes,
because
ma'am.
that's the importance of being aware of how you're walking.
Yes, ma'am.
When you're just minding your business and people done watched you throughout the years do what you're doing, and when you finally get that big assignment, you got all these kudos and congratulations and all of this because they don't watch you work. It wasn't given to you. It wasn't given to you. You earned it. Now, you inherited a tremendous legacy. What parts of your predecessor's leadership do you most want to honor and preserve?
Oh, wow. Let me tell you, the committee has been built on solid ground, concrete. There is, I want to preserve everything that has been built because it has gone through the fire, so that they laid a solid foundation. There are places that I would like to enhance, and just to, and it's not that it's anything wrong, but just to keep it relevant for youth today. I would like to continue to build the foundation for youth to feel involved and included, and just continue the legacy and the work, and just make sure that it's inclusive and people and youth and other anyone from any race, nationality feel included and want to be a part of. It's such a strong legacy.
Now, also, what are your top 3 priorities for the MLK community in the first year?
My top one
Yes.
is increasing youth engagement, helping young people feel seen, valued, and involved. The next is strengthening and just building our partnerships with local businesses that we utilize, bring them in to help build. So Martin Luther King, our committee gives scholarships, and we want to build partnerships with our local businesses so that we're building those scholarships to help educate our students. And then just strengthening involvement in the community, creating, or just continuing the everyone feels invited and a part of Dr. King's legacy, and not just one weekend out of a year, but every day.
You know, you mentioned earlier, and I had told you I had a question regarding what you wanted to do as far as making a difference and adding to.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is what you're talking about, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Just building. We collect scholarship funds, and we would like to grow that fund so that we can offer more scholarships to more students, and so because helping children through education, it helps grow our community. It helps help them be able to go to that next level.
Got you.
It's anything that we can do there, and then some of the things that we're doing with the youth also that we added to our youth rally is financial literacy.
Oh, yes.
My best friend Bridget Wiley Reynolds, she's from Bartow County. She's with the United Community Bank in Marietta. She will do a short segment for younger kids, and then our middle to high school students. It's going to be short but impactful.
Right.
And they will take away packets for their parents, so that if we can help our children learn about finances and it help in their parents as well, that also helps help our community, and it'll make a huge difference. But sometimes we don't know where to start because we're in survival mode, and we want people to feel like we're just strengthening our community every way that we can.
Well, being younger, I can see you making a huge difference in being more creative because as times change, you got to bring in, a different mindset, not to try and gut what has already been happening, but to add to it. I have a couple of more questions. And of course, on a lighter note, I want to know, do you have a favorite MLK related event or memory you'd like to share?
Yes. Oh gosh, let me tell you. When I was, I think, 16, it was like 1980. I think it was 86. Went to my first MLK celebration in Atlanta. My childhood best friend and cousin, she and her mom and I went to Atlanta, and we were able to be a part of the celebration and the parade and everything. Dr. King's children were in, and it was so touching, and it was fun, but it was educational. We went to the home. We went to buy Ebenezer, and we just embraced ourselves into all of the festivities. So that was the first time I had been to a celebration. Of course, we've been hearing about Dr. King since. I don't remember a time in my household that we didn't talk about him, but that celebration was remarkable. And then, I know you asked me for one, but the second is every time we get ready to do the pledge, one of our youth read the pledge, the lights go down low, and the youth, when we come in, they give out candles, and they go down in a line with their baskets, and the music is playing. Man, it is so inspiring. You get this feeling like, as you're reading, as you're repeating that pledge, you feel like, okay, I'm going to a different level that I want to make sure that I show everyone love, peace, compassion, and you just have this overwhelming, beautiful feeling, and just to look around the room at all of the different people that are in the room, black, white, you've got people from different denominations, just there together in peace and harmony. That is beautiful.
Was it like a surreal moment?
It's always the most surreal moment, standing there and if you look around, and when you're standing there, you just feel, it's like you just get chills.
Oh my God.
And sometimes in that moment, and it seems like it happens every year, and especially here recently, I think I can't relate to my parents' generation where race relations are concerned, or my children's, because I feel like times got a little better during my generation, but now they've taken a turn back.
Yeah.
And race relations are not like they were when I was younger. I felt like we were getting somewhere when I was younger, and I was feeling pretty good about them. But my parents' generation and my children's generation, I feel sorry for them. And in that moment, I think about how I pray that this pledge that people are making, that more people will make it.
How do you plan to foster that idea and to ensure that every voice in the community is heard? Because that's going to initiate change.
Yes. First of all, by showing up.
Wow, that's good.
You have to show up, because it's easy to say, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. And I have to show up and believe that, there are churches that are organizing race relationships, conversations. We have to have conversations. I think a lot of times we expect people to understand how we feel, but they can't, because they never had to walk in our sin. So if we don't paint the picture for them, and I feel like it really shouldn't be necessary for us, because if you can see on TV, you see these things happening, you should just, see that you should treat people better, but sometimes you have to paint a picture as to how we as a people feel, how we have to move, and then our fears when we have children and how we have to raise them. None of us are alike. And so people have to, and talking about unity, peace, and doing things that bring our community together. That's all. That's what we have to do. It's just work to be done.
It's work to be done. And with that being said, it's important to really understand how you're going to measure, the balance, honoring tradition with the need for innovation. How do you plan to do that?
I believe that our foundation, our tradition, is our foundation, and innovation is how we grow.
Correct.
We have to preserve what's meaningful to us and that is proven to work.
Right. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Absolutely. But then on the other side, we have to welcome new ideas that will help the celebration stay relevant, engaging, and impactful for the next generation.
I love your answers, and I love how you're moving, because I think that what you are bringing to the table is going to cause more engagement for different groups. So what role do youth and young leaders play in your vision?
I feel like young people play a major role. Youth is not just our future. They are a vital part of right now. And what we have to do is we have to get them involved in planning, presenting, leading, serving, so they'll take ownership and pride what Dr. King tried to do in unifying in a peaceful way.
Oh, wow. You really have a job on your hands. And we talked earlier about, being prepared. And you can really take godly pride in God preparing you for such a time as this, because this is the technical world that we're in. This is the AI world that we're in. And you have adult children that are in school, but yet you actually have the charisma, and you're not challenged with being able to meet the young people where they are. You know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You're going to be that one that is not judgmental and not too much. You know what I mean? It's like you have you have the attitude of, let him speak. Let her speak. You're one that will allow space for an individual to be seen and to be heard. I'm telling you what's been recognized about you throughout your life. You are a silent storm. You're there. People, you don't have to say a word for people to know that you're there. Your presence is strong. And I believe that you're going to create memories for for everyone involved, to have a day when they're going to be able to answer the question that I ask you. Do you have a favorite MLK related event or memory? We should all have one. So one last question. I could talk to you all day, but I want the people to enjoy all the substance of this communication, and we'll have our girl time another time. But is there anything you'd like people to know about you that they may not already know?
I want people to know that also someone who values working with others, collaboration. I believe we do our best work when we do it together. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping me. And I encourage everyone to go to a Martin Luther King celebration. Come out and participate. Bring somebody with you and make it a lifestyle. Walking in peace and harmony.
I encourage everyone to do the same. It's been an honor and a pleasure to talk with you. It is so easy. It is so easy always when I engage in conversation with you. I'd like to compare it to easy like Sunday morning. You are a pleasure. Yes, you are a pleasure.
Thank you, and so are you.
Thank you.
Dr. Debb.
Thank you so much for honoring me with your kind words and your encouragement. I've known you all of my life, and I can honestly say to everyone that is listening all over the world that you're someone that they need to meet. You've never changed. You've never changed. You can't say that about everybody. And you are where you should be. And I cannot wait to see what God does with this new assignment. But I know it's going to be greater than it's ever been done, because it lines with when he walked on the face of this earth and he did great things. He told his children, greater works shall you do. And I know that's what's going to take place for you. You're going to make Miss Linda Kellogg proud, and you're going to make the community proud. Is there any last words before we sign off?
Let's not just celebrate Dr. King, let's honor him through our actions. That's it.
And I agree 100%. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to Revealing Hill Radio on today. Take heed to the words that were stated today and sit in some really strong statements that were made. Self-examine, look at your heart, do what you can do to bring unity in the community. I'm Dr. Debb. Thank you again. Have an amazing day. Remember to love yourself, love everybody, and be an example